y te encuentras en el escenario con el Pekeke por tu mundo de rock online, AZ Rock en Puerto Rico, Ártica Radio en la capital de Estados Unidos, Washington, D.C. Si me escuchas en New York es por Voltaje, Radio Revolución, y en Bolivia por César, Radio Rock, y estamos escuchando lo más popular en el rock internacional para el 1 de agosto del 2026, esta semana en la que he estado compartiendo en el LAMC Latin Alternative Music Conference. Pero hoy pasamos a la número 1 internacional con un invitado, dos invitados de lujo. Antes de presentarle la número 1, que fue, ¿verdad?, la número 2 esta semana, un junte maravilloso de Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, número 2 a nivel internacional, Home to Us. Y antes de presentar la número 1, que es una banda que es ultra querida, especialmente en Puerto Rico. Usualmente en los pasados años sus canciones han llegado a la primera posición constantemente. Tengo el gusto de tener a dos grandes artistas conmigo hoy. Uno es de Puerto Rico, lo conozco como el taíno mayor, Malcolm Baez, o conocido por ustedes como Amore ad Lunam, un músico de Puerto Rico ultra sólido, en el que he tenido el privilegio de colaborar con él, por ejemplo, con el tema que yo hice junto a Omar de Menta y Ramón Ortiz de Puya, Al final del tenedor, uno de los orgullos de mi carrera. Y este caballero ha seguido haciendo con su carrera maravillas, y entre esas acaba de lanzar al mercado, o viene por ahí, una nueva producción junto a una leyenda de la cultura popular de los Estados Unidos, un guerrero del skateboard, una leyenda que conocemos muchos por Jackass, ¿verdad? Pero obviamente estamos hablando de alguien que todos en la cultura popular de los Estados Unidos conocen. Ahora voy a switchar al inglés porque ando con Amore ad Lunam y Margera, and I want to welcome Amore ad Lunam and Margera to the stage with Pekeke. It is an honor. I was just saying in Spanish, how important for us is the big taíno, how I call it, Amore ad Lunam, and yourself, man, and this togetherness of you two guys. And I'm very intrigued about this story. But first of all, Margera, you're a legend. You're a skateboard legend. You're part of the United States pop culture, period, Yeah. And first of all, how are you guys?
I'm good. I've been skating my ass off. I'm back at Castle Bam for the first time in a long time. I have Kane and Dern, the professional skateboarder, going for the Guinness Book World Record of longest 50-50 grind on a skateboard handrail. It's a football field long, and he came very close yesterday, and now he's going to invest from noon till sundown to try it again. And I have a feeling he's going to get it. But yes, when it comes down to music and skateboarding, you basically work a whole year to create 3 minutes worth of a video of your hard skate tricks that take you sometimes 3 hours to land. So one landing of a skate trick is 1 second of screen time. So when you finally gather enough footage, you have to pick your favorite rock song. And I always like to find underground music to use for my skate part. So basically I had Spotify Shuffle on when I was painting my house. It was, some gothic mix with a band called Lacrimus Profunde from Austria. And then I heard a new song from a new band. I stopped everything of what I was doing and found out it was a band called Amore ad Lunam from Puerto Rico. And I actually said to my wife, I'm like, babe, we have to go to Puerto Rico. I have to work with these guys. We have to do at least a song together. Well, after 2 years, that one song turned into a full album called The End of Days. So it's pretty much done, all mixed, all recorded. We've been working, whether it's me flying to Puerto Rico or me going into the Shinedown studio in South Carolina, I would always get my tracks done and send it back, whether it wasn't live in Arecibo is where we're. Yeah, and there's another
you went
place.
to Arecibo. You went to the cave, to our favorite cave in Puerto Rico, in Arecibo, with Alexis Perez, one of the greatest guys in Puerto Rico. So you've been recording this with Amore a Lunam from South Carolina and Puerto Rico between both locations.
Between. And you know, when I did the first track with Malcolm, I realized either we grew up listening to the exact same music, but I don't know what it is. He knows exactly how to write perfect songs for me, you know, because I don't know how to do the pitch and tune when I write lyrics myself, and he'll figure out the best gothic rock way, and I'm like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? So we work really good together. And you know, when I hear him sing it, I will train my voice to sing it just like it. So without him writing the lyrics and writing it the pitch and rhythm and the way it needs to be, I wouldn't be able to do this, you know, magic of music. When I listen to these songs, it's like timeless music for me that I can listen to infinity and it'll never get old. And I thank all that to Malcolm for his ability of beautiful songwriting.
That's freaking amazing. Bam, is it your first time making music with someone? Was Malcolm the one who got you into doing this?
Well, my brother was always rehearsing CKY in my basement, like for years and years and years when we lived with my parents. Then they got signed to Island Def Jam. And from there, I did my own side projects called, well, it's called Fuckface Unstoppable. And then, then I did an album called The Eavesdroppers. But I pretty much always left the music to my brother, and I kept, you know, I would do my skating and expect him to write a perfect song for my new skateboard video part. But now that I've ventured off and, you know, because if you're not in the right studio and they don't have the right effects and somebody doesn't teach you how to do things the right way, it's not going to sound anything close to what you wanted it to. So with Malcolm's studio in Puerto Rico and him, the way he writes music is so perfectly 100% the way that I want it to be, that it wouldn't work any better with anyone else on the planet. I mean, even if I was sitting with Rick Rubin, it would not be the magic that Malcolm and I create out there in Arecibo.
So there's a difference. There's a whole difference between, for example, the CKY that you mentioned, Can't Kill Yourself, and what you're doing with Malcolm. Is the perspective is totally different creatively?
Yeah, well, maybe Malcolm could answer this, but you know, when we did probably 5 songs together, we just looked at each other and our eyes were like, we could get an album done, couldn't we? He's like, yes, we could. I'm like, that's what we got to do then, you know, just to have.
And yes, you did.
Nice
and you did.
You know, having the artwork and everything, because everything is digital now on your dumb phone, that you don't even get that. I want an Amore ad Lunam record with Bam of a 2-year project we've been working on to make it perfection for the Earth Rockers.
That's freaking amazing. Malcolm, Amore at Lunam, my brother. Let's switch to Spanish a little bit. Malcolm, hermano, qué privilegio tenerte acá con Bam Margera. Háblame un poquito de esto, el que te escucha en cualquier parte del planeta. Everyone that is listening to you in any part of the world. Malcolm, Amore Alumni, how do you feel about this, man? You're doing something magical with a great guy and a legend like Bam.
You know, prácticamente cuando está pasando algo y tú estás despierto a la misma vez, entre dormido y despierto, es como que estás viviendo cositas medias sueños. Es como el título del álbum, Songs for the End of Days. El Days, D-A-Z-E, ¿entiendes? Que estar adormecido.
Yes.
Pues sí, se siente algo así, se siente. Y a veces se le olvida a uno lo que se está haciendo. Igual te duermes otra vez. Pero no, súper contento con el trabajo que estábamos haciendo juntos. Y mano, canta bestial. Realmente Van canta.
Bam is killing it. Bam is doing an amazing job as a singer. Oh, yes.
En el estudio él ha cogido canciones y así de principio a fin, de principio a fin, dale por ahí para abajo. Y eso es algo que la gente pues, no sabe, que es interesante.
¿Las estás componiendo todas tú, Malcolm? Amore Luna me está componiendo las canciones.
Sí, full, el songwriting es mío, y arreglo, por ahí para abajo, el full instrumental, pero tenemos un par de covers, incluimos un par de covers y otros invitados, otros cantantes invitados en el álbum. Tenemos de Alemania, tenemos un cantante alemán invitado, dos alemanes en dos canciones diferentes.
Oh, wow. Hell yeah. ¿Y cómo se llama la producción, Malcolm?
Es Songs for the End of Days.
¿Cuántos temas trae?
Tiene 12 temas.
Entonces, ya filmaron, tengo entendido que video y todo. Tengo entendido,
Sí,
según me dicen las malas lenguas, de Momentum. ¿Qué es Momentum?
Momentum es un tema adicional que es otro álbum. Nosotros estamos trabajando como dos álbumes a la misma vez. Entonces, Momentum viene después de este. El Momentum no sale en pero tenemos en mente para ese vinil que Van quiere, entonces pues quizás añadimos cosas extra que tenemos que se pasaron.
Estamos trabajando con lo que es la nueva producción y ya ustedes picaron adelante y están trabajando lo que es Momentum, que viene por ahí.
Sí, y grabamos el video musical la última vez que Van vino por acá, pues adelantando trabajo, tú sabes.
Así que se hacen las cosas. Voy a switchar al inglés. Ok, dime, hermano.
Sí, no, que prácticamente por eso se llama Momentum el tema. Y estamos aprovechando eso. O sea,
aprovechando el momentum. I love it. Voy a switchar al inglés para añadir a Bam. We were talking about, your latest album with Amore Lunam, and also about, I heard something about Momentum, and Momentum seems to be a future project that you already filmed in Puerto Rico together. Can you share a little bit about it, Ben?
Yeah, we lit it up all nice with like blue and pink colors in the woods in the middle of nowhere with some spooky smoke, and we performed out there and got some nice shots of like, hot chicks in pretty much gothic like witchcraft type outfits. I didn't get to see the final edit, but it was really fun to do. And just all the new songs that we have, when I play it, as soon as it ends, I want to hear it again. And that's when I know that I'm in love with these songs. Like there's a lot of times I hear a song that a friend of mine will play me. I'll be, yeah, man, that was pretty good. And they're like, yeah, do you want to hear it again? I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I heard it. I don't need to hear it again, but it was good. And whenever there's a song like, play it again, just play it again. That is Amore ad Lunam for me. I'll never get sick of listening to it. Especially the first song that I heard is called Alone Forever. It's just the first song that was like, this is a perfect rock song. I need to know who this band is. And I listened to it like 10 times a day, over and over and over again, until I finally had to get in touch with Malcolm and say, I'm flying to Puerto Rico, man.
That's freaking awesome. I would like to know from any of you, what makes you think, because obviously there's a music connection, there's a bond about, creatively, but it's kind of interesting to think about a Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico, which is known as a Taíno, which is known as a very local Puerto Rican, mixed with a guy from Westchester, Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, and obviously, you're from the same generation, the influences could be there, but for example, it is interesting for me to let me make the best question of it. Bam or Malcolm, what can you tell to anyone right now listening to you in any part of the world about how a Puerto Rican and a guy from Westchester, Pennsylvania get along?
I could start with this one. Well, it all starts with Ville Valo right here from the band called Him from Finland. From there is a band called 69 Eyes, straight out of Helsinki Vampires. And, stem from that, any band that I say that probably no musician has ever heard of, Malcolm's very familiar with like the band and the albums. I could say I could be. Remember Gore Guts, the Erosion of Sanity album from 1996? You'd be like, yeah, and track 3 is the best one. I'll be like, yes, it is. You know, so any band that you've never heard of ever, you know, Malcolm is very familiar with the albums. So I'm like, we have listened to the same albums and like the same songs from the albums. That we almost have the same brain when it comes to music, especially gothic rock, which you know is our favorite. I like all types of music, but when it comes to me making music, it's love metal, and you know, Malcolm's the perfect songwriter for that, and it's just such a perfect person to work with in the studio. We fucking bang it out really quick with no like stress or drama. It's just we are automatically know and agree that this is the way the music needs to be written, so there's never any tiffs or fights or anything in that studio.
It's magic just happening. Malcolm, Amore, en español, dime cómo se siente esa experiencia.
Super nice, hermano. Estamos jangueando en el estudio. Jangueando en el estudio, y pasándola bien prácticamente con un pana. Más que, ¿verdad? Que fuese algo, una relación como es comercial, de negocio, ¿no? Realmente es un pana, es padrino de mi nene, de Sage.
¡Oh, yeah! ¡Qué maravilla! Dios lo bendiga. Oh, that's an honor. Thank you for
I am the godfather. I am the godfather of Sage.
That's freaking awesome. He just told me that you are the godfather, so that's a freaking amazing story to share with everyone. That means that Bam Margera is the godfather of Amore at Lunam's new baby, which is awesome. An awesome story to share. And obviously, Malcolm, you seem very proud of what you've been creating with Bam. Ben, with all due respect, I want to ask you about how is everything working with your clothing company with Danny? Is it still working?
Oh, well, you know what? I'll be the first to break Puerto Rico the news. I've been skating so much and I guess so well lately because my wife is my stretch coach, that a company called Zero Skateboards that I've always wanted to be a team member of, we did like a one-off run of a BAM deck and it sold out in 10 minutes. So we did it again and then again, and now he officially asked me to ride for Zero, which is a really big deal. So there's a double-page Thrasher ad coming out probably within 2 weeks in the new magazine. So I'm not supposed to say anything until then, but for the Puerto Rican people, I'm letting you know first.
Yeah, we got lucky. Thank you, Bam. Thank you, Bam, for sharing that with us. Any something new with your skateboard story or anything that you want to share with anyone that is listening to you through our stations?
So I've been working on a really rad 8-episode documentary, an hour apiece, with Gaston Francisco and Danny Milan from Spain. They've been flying in and filming me for a week straight, like pretty much everything from waking up, brushing my teeth, to fucking putting my head in on the pillow to bed. So we've been getting a lot of really good stuff, and the whole episode is devoted to going to Puerto Rico, working with Malcolm and Yngwie Malmsteen, and doing some skating out there as well. So that's going to be a really great episode that I recently saw a rough cut of. So all this stuff is coming together. I've been doing a lot of like one-off YouTube things with like Danny Duncan. We went to Alaska just last week to put bricks on the gas pedal of cars and let them launch off of a 1,000-foot mountain to its doom. So that turned out really well. We're going to go to Spain and do some fun stuff there, like that tomato food fight. And then I'm going to go to Ischia Island off the coast of Italy to find out if I have any relatives there, because I did the ancestry DNA test. And I've known this all along, but it leads back to Ischia Island, right near Naples, is Sicily. And it's a pretty small island, only about 14 miles big. And the Margera is actually on the side of a mountain. So we're going to go track down these Margeras that I've never met before and see if they still are alive.
Freaking awesome that you're still doing great things and still rock and roll in it. Mr. Malcolm, anything that you want to share with anyone that is listening to you? You can say in Spanish, man.
Sí, estamos haciendo un tour a nivel isla que se extiende a Estados Unidos y en 2027 vamos a estar en Europa.
Yes.
Esto y el álbum todavía no está en plataforma, es físico y ya tenemos una copia física que las tengo conmigo.
¿Dónde te la pueden pedir? El que quiera copias físicas de Amore a Lunam y esta producción con Bam Margera, ¿dónde te las pide a ti?
Pendiente en Instagram, en el DM, me puedes escribir por ahí y pendiente a las fechas, porque la estoy tirando, tiro un flyer completo, pero cada vez hay updates y se añaden más fechas. Entonces, pues, vamos a estar el 25 de julio en Isabela, en la Central. Es el primer gig de esto, pero vamos a estar en Ponce, San Juan y diciembre, vamos el 18 de diciembre a tocar en Tampa. Rasmus. Vamos a estar por allá y pues estamos todo esto es de camino a Euro 2027 en mayo.
2027. ¿El disco estará digitalmente para cuándo? ¿Esperas tú?
Estamos decidiéndolo yo le di una fecha al label del orden de singles y de los videos musicales. Y el label, pues, de ahí entonces, pues ahora empieza a asignar fechas y a setearlo.
Claro.
Realmente no, yo espero que salga el full álbum ¿verdad? Este mismo año para seguir con Momentum y con todo lo otro.
Bello, me encanta, mi hermano, me encanta.
Pero tengo 100 copias físicas, así, ilimitadas. Limitada, limited edition.
Limitada.
Sí, limitada. Y sigue esa versión primera y de ahí para adelante vamos a tirar otra versión y vamos en camino para hacer el vinil añadiéndole más canciones.
Maravilla, mano. I'm super freaking proud of you. Guárdame una de esas 100 que tiene, guárdame al Pekeke porque yo quiero una de esas. Ok. Malcolm, Amore a Lunam, I take my hat off. Bam Margera, I take my hat off. Your reunion, your togetherness is freaking awesome, and it represents a lot for a lot of people in the rock scene. I'm not kidding. So I'm very proud of what you're doing together. Can't wait to listen to the whole album. Enjoy what you're doing together with this album, and I can't wait to listen. What you got with Momentum, and thank you for taking your time and shared some time with Pekeke in the States. Anything else, Bam?
Yeah, we did a one-off secret show in San Juan, very spur of the moment, and it was sold out. It was so much fun that when the album does come out, I want to come back to Puerto Rico, make sure we do a private show in Yunco, Guaynabo, Ponce, Caguas, and Aguadilla.
Yes, you're learning los pueblos de Puerto Rico. That's freaking amazing. Good job, Malcolm. Good job. Yeah, good job. Thank you.
Punta Santiago and Palmas del Mar.
Palmas del Mar, one of the that's a beautiful place on our beautiful island, no doubt about it. Man, Bam Margera, a legend in the pop culture of the United States. Amore a Lunam, El Taíno Mayor, together here at the stage with Pekeke. And now it's my privilege to give you the #1 song in all of the world today. Five Finger Death Punch, Eye of the Storm. Te encuentras en el escenario con el Pekeke. Estás en the stage.